So, welcome everyone. I'm Sarah Beth. Tonight we will be moving through a loving kindness practice to open our hearts. But before we get started, if you haven't yet already prepared your space, make sure you have a yoga mat, if you have a block, a bolster, a blanket, and or just a folding chair or something that you can kind of sprawl your heart open on. You can even use a blanket and just bunch it up because we will be doing a heart bench, a heart opening pose a little later on in the practice. So I just want you to have everything you need before we get started. So, as always, thank you so much for being here. And if you would go ahead and find a comfortable seated position, whether that's on your yoga mat, a chair, against a wall, laying down if that's more comfortable. Because we have so many different bodies, walks of life, remember to listen to your body first. I will offer modifications, but if your body is nudging for you to do a specific pose, do it. You're welcome to do legs up the wall the whole class, child's pose. Again, this is for you. So just remember, these are more suggestions and guidance than it has to be this way. So begin the practice by closing down the eyelids and just starting to observe what's going on in and around you. So maybe connecting to sounds, smells, sights with your eyes closed. Maybe you're seeing things with your eyes closed. And just start to slow down. Just start to settle in. Allow the shoulders to maybe roll a few times and just slide down the back. Just finding length through your spine. And just a nice steady breath. It doesn't have to be anything crazy or fancy or complicated. Just start with a simple balanced breath. So matching that inhale and your exhale. So maybe you inhale for a count of 4. And then on the exhale through the nose or out through the mouth for 4. And if that feels cozy, stay there, or you can play around with altering those ratios slightly, maybe increasing the inhale and lengthening the exhale just a little bit longer. And as you start to deepen a little bit into the breath, can you start to move your attention to your heart? So the center of your being, but also your anatomical heart, the emotional heart, the spiritual heart. And we're going to start by just focusing on someone that you love, someone that you love effortlessly, whether that is a family member, a spouse, a child, a beloved pet, someone here now, or it could be someone who has passed on, just someone that is easy to love. It's just like a no brainer. It just kind of automatically, you just love this person. So start with that energy. And it can be different people. You can flicker through different loves. And just notice if anything's starting to shift at the heart. You might feel a little bit of warmth, or perhaps your heart starts beating a little bit faster, or maybe you feel just the subtlest expansion across the chest as you focus in on these feelings, these memories, these felt experiences with love. So it's always a little bit easier to start by focusing out. So the Metta, loving kindness meditation, sort of sends out these different energies. So you can repeat after me or just say it silently in your head. So focusing on who you love, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be free from pain and suffering. So just feel the resonance, the power of those simple statements, those very short sentences, but they hold power, depth. So think about sending that out to not just the people you love, but maybe one layer beyond that, people you just interact with, maybe the teller at the grocery store or someone that you're driving past on the interstate. People that you might not know their name, their story, where they live, but you still want to send out a wave of well wishes, of happiness, healthiness, safety, peace, ease, and freedom from pain and suffering. So sending out that second ripple. People who are a little more neutral. You might not feel this charged sense of love towards them, but it's more of a just a gentle. And then start to gather that energy back up. And for a lot of us, this can be one of the harder parts is to then turn and look in the mirror. Send that love that we went out and bring it in. So I like to think of like, okay, at first it's like the sun's rays shining out, but then you need to pull the rays inside. So sending that love to yourself, even if it feels a little uncomfortable. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe and at ease. May I be free from pain and suffering. And just sit with that for a moment. How does that feel? How does that land for you? So deep diving right into the heart. So just stay here 30 more seconds, just expanding that self love and the love you have for the people in your life, for your community, in your town. And then I'll invite us to take a double breath. So inhale into the belly, so right above the navel center. And then inhale up to the heart. And then hold it, hold it, hold it. And then a big relaxed exhale. So it's like you're filling up with all those good sensations, all those good vibes. Inhale, belly. Second sip of air up to the heart. Hold. And then let that love just pour out. One last round, then we'll move to our mats. Inhale, belly. Big breath of air into the heart. Fill up, fill up, fill up, fill up. And then radiate that love out. Beautiful. So, from that little mini meditation, check back in, maybe open your eyes, see what has shifted, and then we'll go ahead and make our way onto our yoga mats. So, take your time if you're not already there. And again, don't stress out about all the props. If you don't have them at home, that's fine. We'll make do with what we have. So you can start one of two ways: in child's pose, sort of the traditional, little bit wider legs here. But throughout the practice, I really want you focused on the heart space. So whether you're in child's pose or more in a puppy dog pose where the hips are slightly elevated, you can have the elbows down or even hands over the head here. But think about melting that heart down towards the floor here. And while we're in this position, think about maybe some heaviness that you felt in your heart lately, whether it's your heaviness, the weight of the world's heaviness, or maybe there's someone really close to you that's going through something really difficult. And as strong as we can be, it can be heavy to hold that emotion and space. So think about kind of pouring out that heaviness here onto the mat, whether you're in child's pose or more of that melting heart puppy dog. And breathe. Come back to the breath, that loving breath. Good. One more round. You're doing great. And then from here, just gently start to come into a tabletop position, patting your knees if you need, and just adding just a very gentle little sway side to side. Checking in with the neck, and of course, staying connected to the heart. Not blocking yourself off from any feeling, just letting them all pass through. And just lovingly look down at your hands, maybe spread the fingers just a little bit wider here. And as you push down round the back, moving energy through our cats and cows. But I want you to hold and pause in the cow. So the belly's dropped down, the heart is pulling forward. Maybe even look either straight ahead or up. And it can be a little hard to hold. It can build just a little bit of heat, so don't be afraid. And then exhale, release, tuck the chin in, arch the back. And don't forget that the space behind the heart can also be opened. Belly down, open the heart, hold here, you got this. And then exhale, curl in, round, round, round. Few more times so you can hold here. And then exhale, press and round. Just taking it slow. So one last round. Looking good, friend. And then press and round. So finding that neutral back tabletop. Go ahead and extend one leg back. So you can either keep the toes down like a kickstand or challenge your balance just a little bit more. But notice that my toes are pointed down and the heel is in line with my glute. So I'm walking my opposite hand forward here. Again, you can keep everything on the mat or you can extend and think about sending from the heart that love out, but also back towards yourself. So there's this extension, nice and long, reach, reach, reach. And then bring it back to the mat. Good. So the more you squeeze the muscles, the more intense this can be. So building that heat, either starting from the ground and staying here, switch to the other side, belly in nice and strong, love going out, love going back towards yourself. Reach a little bit further, hold, 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 and bring it back. Nice job. So one more round, you can again do the same exact thing. If you want to make it just a little bit harder, see if you can bend that back knee and then reach back for the ankle, the toes, and notice that the heart space is going to start to come forward just a little bit. If that's too much to balance, stay here. Just stay here. And then release. Beautiful. Final round, and then we'll get off our wrists all the way out. You can stay here or explore curling the heel in, reach back, reach back. Even if you can't grab, just spinning that heart space forward, maybe looking over that back shoulder. You got it. Hold, 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 and release. Beautiful. Back to child's pose. So hips back, that heart is melting down. So while you're resting in child's pose, I want you to then think of what the word kindness is. So think of kindness more of love in action, love as a behavior, love as a choice. And just think about acts of kindness that you have experienced in your life. Maybe someone dropping off soup when you were sick, or picking you up at the airport when your flight came in at 2 a.m., or someone paying for your groceries. Whatever it is, these little moments of kindness, buying your Starbucks drink in line, whatever it is. So putting our love into action and kind of embodying that through the poses that we're doing. So from child's pose, come back into tabletop and then tuck the toes, maybe roll the ankles, send a little love to the joints. You can tap your toes. And again, your options are you can do like a little lift the knee pulse, or just simply come into downward facing dog just to open up through the hamstrings. But keeping your focus on kindness. What does it mean to be kind to yourself? I know as a new mom, I always hear that from other moms. They're like, give yourself grace. I'm like, okay, easier said than done. But really, what does it mean to be kind to yourself? Is it, getting a massage once in a while, or saying no to the overstimulating event that you don't really want to go to, or just, taking a hot bath, or eating nutritious foods? What does kindness look like for you? And then whether you're in down dog or back in tabletop, I'm going to invite you to step 1 foot forward. So I'm walking both hands to the other side of the mat. And I'm going to start with my right foot forward, and I'm just going to send it out a little bit wider here. So I'm pivoting the toes. Sometimes this is called lizard or dragon. And just add a little sway. Nothing crazy. But a lot of times when our hips and hamstrings are tight, our heart and heart space, and behind the heart space can also feel tight. So just take it easy here. If you want a block or a prop, you can grab that as well. But I'm going to use my left hand as like an anchor and reach my right arm up and cradle the fingers at the back of the head. And again, just really opening up the heart, whether you want that cactus arm or just opening up here. Good. Keep breathing. And then bring the hand down very gently. See if you can start to pull the hip back, just straightening out that front leg. So you can just do a few forwards and backs, either keeping the hands to the inside of the mat or maybe bringing them wide if that feels more natural. Good. Doing great. Loving kindness. And even if it's a pose that you don't quite love as much, that's even a more perfect time to practice. Good. So from here, I'm just going to take my leg back and press into child's pose or downward facing dog if you prefer. Just listen to what your body needs. Listening to what your body needs is a form of loving kindness. And then let's go ahead and set up for that other side. So dropping the knees, walking the hands to the edge of the mat. Now that opposite foot's going to come forward, just pivoting. I know you can't really see from that side. And I'm just gently kind of rocking the pelvis, moving the knee. It doesn't have to be super deep, just kind of loosen up. It's been super cold lately, so your joints might need just a little extra time to adjust. So just go easy on yourself, which is potentially a form of kindness. And then from here, reaching the arm up, taking it behind you, kind of shining the heart forward, either with that half cactus. And then bringing your hand back down, make sure you're stable. And then just a few of those low and slow, trying to lift the toe up for that nice leg stretch. Good. One more time. Think about the heart relaxing through the neck. And then gently pulling the knee back to child's pose or downward facing dog. So from here, we'll go ahead and slide onto the belly. So if this is not comfortable for you on the mat, you can put a blanket, a bolster under your ribs. So just finding the Sphinx pose. So the shoulders stacked over the elbow, the fingers are spread wide. You can take your feet out or even bring them together. Do a little crisscross if your low back needs some love. So again, that ripple. So think of like a love pulse. So first it's like people you love. And then the second pulse is people that you see, but you don't really know. And then the third pulse is people that you might not quite get along with so well, people who have the potential to irritate and maybe they don't live the same way you do or believe the same things you do. But just try to send that light through right here. Breathe into it. Relax. And again, it's a practice, but trying to send that love out a little bit further. And then slowly start to melt the heart down. If you want to take the elbows wide, make a little pillow for your head. You can relax your face, your jaw. And just ponder what it would be like to maybe let go of some of those people that haven't been so easy to love, some of the resentment or anger or disappointment or hurt. What if you can just soften your heart around that and just let it melt? And whatever you're feeling here, just let it move like a wave. We're not trying to shut ourselves out or block ourselves up, off. So if you have your cheek turned to one side, make sure you look the opposite way just to balance it. And as you breathe, think about filling up right behind the shoulder blades, what I like to call the back of the heart, like the back door of the heart. And just feel that space expand from the opposite direction. Good. 2 more rounds of breath here. Just being gentle, loving, and kind to yourself. And then slowly come back into Sphinx here. So press down through the arms. Think about lifting through the rib cage and just releasing the neck a little bit. And then lower down halfway. So my rib cage is down, but I'm going to take my hands back behind me here. So we're going to lift the heart, press the hands down, and maybe one leg lifts. And if you need a little break, come back down. Roll the shoulders, lift the heart, maybe the other leg lifts. One last time. You can either alternate the legs or squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the glutes. And maybe take a little flight. And then let it go. Hands by your side, start to press yourself up and then back. Beautiful. So grab a quick sip of water if you need. And then just meeting in the middle of the mat. One of my favorite little poses here, butterfly. And maybe you close your eyes and visualize like a little flock of monarch butterflies representing not just your love, but love in action, your kindness. So, this swarm of butterflies is just, you're sending them to your friends, your family, people who might not live around here, maybe people who live across the world in different countries, and just send this little flock of butterflies out. Maybe even send a butterfly to someone who hurt your feelings or annoyed you or insulted you at some point in your life. Maybe Just one butterfly. Just start there. One little butterfly flapping their way towards whoever you choose. And then find our cactus arms, one of my favorite ways to really feel that opening through the chest. So spread the fingers, open up, and then grab opposite shoulders. You knew this was coming. Again, it's so easy to focus on everyone else, but it's easy to forget ourselves. So don't forget yourself. Let this be your reminder that you too deserve a hug. And then open again, spread the fingers, send those butterflies out. And then that big hug. You can rock, you can sway, just sending that warmth back to you. A little fluttering butterfly on your shoulder. And then one last time, cactus arms, and then see if you can just bring them behind you slightly. So pressing back, shining the heart, relax through the back of the neck. You can even go, ah. So letting your heart lead here. And then slowly starting to bring the chin back in and down. And I want you to just slowly start to round here. Feel free to grab your props if you need or want a little extra cushion or padding. And just hold here for a second. So remember that love is not something that we have to earn or perform. It's a natural state, especially when we feel safe enough to soften, when we feel seen, when we feel heard, when we feel supported. So let love be the foundation of this pose. Maybe you kind of pretend that the shape that you're making is this big heart here. And again, those pulses of love starting to reach those harder areas of the difficult people, the challenging people, people who might have we might have charged energy towards. But can you soften as your body softens? Can you send that out? And just practice. It doesn't have to be a perfect. Again, just one butterfly. They don't have to get the whole flock just yet. But they still deserve to be happy and healthy and safe, peaceful, and free from suffering. A few more breaths here. And then very slowly start to sit yourself back up. And you can either come back to the hands Or maybe if you want just a little more intense, come down to the forearms. You're welcome to go back and forth with the legs in that little windshield wiper, one down, then the other, maybe getting that nice little heart opening, neck releasing. Good. Just a few more times here. Take your time, really feel into it. And then, if you can, just slowly start to lower down onto your back. Now, I will warn you, we're not here forever. Um, so don't get too comfortable. So, feeling where the back of the heart is touching the mat, bringing hand to heart, hand to belly. Knees can be up or out if you really still want that hip opening. So, we talked about sending love out, but can you start to call the butterflies back and really start to think about what does it mean to love yourself as we all change, as time goes by? How we love ourselves might be and look a little different. Good. Stay here. So, filling the belly, filling the heart, and then let it go. Two more here. Inhale, belly. Inhale, heart. And then let it go. And then, wherever you are, starting to pull the knees in, rocking back and forth. And before we make our way back up, just take a little side to side here with the knees. Doesn't have to be super long of a hold, but just kind of loosening up down through each and every vertebrae. One more time each side. You're doing great. And then either rolling to the side, or if you want to use a little bit of momentum to roll yourself up. Moving any hazards out of the way. And just coming to a forward fold here. So have the feet just a little bit wider than your hips. Of course, take your time getting there. Making sure the feet are nice and rooted on the mat and just swaying back and forth. Again, releasing any of that heaviness, whether it was towards yourself, towards anyone else, everything that's been going on in the world, just kind of letting it go and opening yourself up to the possibility that things can be loving and light and joyful, even. So, if you want, you can grab opposite elbows and just sway, feeling that stretch, that opening through the hamstrings. Good. And then pushing down through the feet, nice and slow and controlled, start to make your way up to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up, 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 and maybe just a little side stretch. So I'm just grabbing my wrist or your forearm if that feels better, just kind of opening up that whole side. And then up and back. Think about heart forward. And then on your exhale, start to fold, fold, fold back down. Maybe you close your eyes and go back into the heart. As we open ourselves to the next phase, which is compassion. What does compassion mean? What does it feel like? When have you seen it, witnessed it, embodied compassion? And then slowly, slowly come all the way up, up, up. Hands to the heart. So I'm going to have you balance on one leg. So you can tap the toe down. You might, again, you can use a wall, a chair, whatever you need. But I'm going to keep one hand to my heart. And we're going to start with the same hand and the same foot. So if it's your right leg, make sure your right hand is grabbing the outside. So I like to call this the flamingo pose. So the heart is forward. You're trying to balance. If this is too much, tap the toes down. And then see if you can, from the heart, send it out. So keep hugging the heel in towards the glute. And maybe you just do a little bit of a dip. So I'm leaning forward just a smidge, wobbling through it, and then coming back, doing a few of those back strokes, just swimming in that lazy river of love. And then trying the other side. So grounded, rooted, you got this. Same hands, same leg. So I'm grabbing for the outside. Zip up through the core. Modification, keep the toes down. Hand to heart. And then as you start to send that out, just a little dip, a little hinge at the hips. Let it be messy. Let yourself wobble right out of it. And release. And you might be sending me only one butterfly for this, but we will do it one more time. So you can stick with sort of the flamingo, or you can try more for dancer, but in dancer, you're going to be grabbing the inside of the ankle. But if that's too confusing, stay with what we just did. It's a little easier to access. So we're squeezing. The heart comes forward. We open up. We don't judge or compare or worry about what we look like on the camera, even if our camera's off. And release. Beautiful. Love isn't always easy. So remember that with this pose. So either your flamingo, your supported flamingo, or grab the inside. This is it, I promise. Find your breath, anchor yourself, and then just play, just try. Can backstroke, beautiful. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Let it go. That wave of energy, the challenge of balance. But just meet yourself where you are. right here. Not who you were 10 years ago, who you are in this moment. And then slowly come all the way back up. 2 more standing poses. Hands to the heart. So I'm going to step my right foot forward and my left foot back, making sure there's space so that it's a little easier to balance here. So have a slight bend through that front knee. Warrior 1. Come back to those cactus arms. So elbows down, shoulder blades down, but the heart comes open. Opening yourself to new possibilities, new relationships, new connections. And then see if you can take the hands behind your back, either grabbing opposite elbows or interlacing hands. And one more time, open the heart. Perhaps you look up as long as it doesn't hurt your neck. And then straighten the front leg, release the hands, slide it down. For a little pyramid pose, think about sending that right hip up and back. Beautiful job. And then you can either step that left foot forward or lift it up. Give it a little stretch. You can point and flex. Maybe come back to that little flamingo grab or more of your dancer grab on the opposite side. And then let it go, fold. Like a waterfall of love, kindness, and compassion. One last side, you're doing great. Push down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up, all the way up. Hands to the heart. Stay connected to the love inside for yourself, for others. Left foot forward, right foot back. Make sure the hips are squared. Inhale, reach. Cactus arms, open heart, but try to keep the ribs from flaring out. So really knit them in, that corset feeling. And then interlace the hands behind or just grab opposite elbows. Drive that left knee forward. You got this. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. A little bit of challenge. And then on the exhale, you can let it go. That pyramid forward fold here. Bending your knee if you need. Relax the face. And then however you want to get that right foot forward, either a gentle lift, a float, or maybe you bend and try to grab it. You decide, what does your body need? And then bring the foot back to the mat. Exhale, fold. And then start to walk your feet back, either into down dog, child's pose, or perhaps just a very gentle vinyasa, dropping the hips down before pressing back. So think about moments where your love has been challenged. I don't think there is a single relationship that never has its moments of friction or difficulty. But isn't overcoming those things what really fortifies and makes that relationship stronger? So just reflect on that as we start to slow the pace and come back onto our backs here. So this is when you might want to create that little heart bench. Whether you have a bolster or just roll up a blanket. And all I want that to make sure that you're feeling is that the heart is open, but the chest is relaxed. You can support the neck with a pillow or even with your hands. And the legs can be however you'd like here. So just give yourself that second to really open and relax, whether you're over a chair or even just laying on the floor with a slight elevation behind your back. So, in this pose, I want us to receive the heart of a meditation style called Tonglen. And the reason I didn't start the practice with this was because that metta meditation, that loving kindness to ourselves, to others, kind of radiating it out and then pulling it back in. Tonglen is opening the heart to what we would normally want to push away. So being able to stay open through that discomfort, that pain, the suffering of the world, but being not closing off, but staying open. So, as we shift into this more meditative experience, I would like you to connect with something that's been painful for you in your life, whether that was the sudden loss of a loved one or, a betrayal or whatever it might be. But tapping into something that was really painful for you to go through. But what's beautiful about this practice is that we're embracing that pain, whether it's in the present or in the past, as a doorway into deeper self awareness, deeper love. And without this pain, past or present, we really cannot transform and grow and sort of alchemize into who we are meant to be. So instead of being frustrated by life's challenges and adversaries, trials, hardships, holding the perspective that these are sacred and beautiful gifts that can profoundly shift our heart, our mind, our capacity, our empathy. So, the first phase of this meditation is you're going to breathe in the quality, that painful quality, whatever it is, loss, grief. If you're someone who's gone through chemotherapy, that pain of that procedure, radiation. But then we're going to breathe out the antidote, the opposite of what that is. So, just a simple one, I might be breathing in the feeling of loneliness, isolation, disconnection, but then I'm breathing out a huge feeling of belonging, community, authentic connection. So just practice that a few times, kind of breathing in whatever is arising, that sticky, tough stuff, but then using the exhale, that soothing exhale, to send out that loving antidote, the opposite, to counteract that pain. And try to breathe into the heart and feel into your heart and send out that relief with each exhale. And if that feels a little abstract, perhaps choose a specific person, maybe your mother. We all have had a mother. And you're breathing in to take away any suffering, pain, distress that your mother has gone through. And you're sending out relief in a form that she can hold and appreciate. So send that relief from suffering on the out breath. And then how does having that specific focus, your mother, your father, your teacher, whoever it is, shift the feeling? It's like, oh wow, what has my mom, let's use that as an example, gone through? What pain has she endured? And how beautiful to be able to use my breath in this moment to offer relief. And then finally, the expansion stage, where we breathe in the troubled feelings of the world and we breathe out relief and peace to all. So breathe in. Think about breathing in all the toxins, the microplastics, all the junk, and then breathing out just this pure, clear breath, air, life for all. That you yourself become that filter, that air purifier, taking in that which doesn't belong, and then breathing out that relief. And feel how that starts to stretch the heart and expand it and melt those icicles away. This is how we connect deeply with others knowing that we've all experienced suffering, but that we can also experience relief from that suffering. So keep being those filters, taking in the darkness and transmuting it into light. And through this practice, absorbing that negativity and then releasing it, we start to lift the vibration of our world, ourselves. We raise that frequency up. And that is how we start to heal, how we start to change things. It starts with us staying open. Can you sit with it? Can you see that the pain that you have gone through is the same as your neighbor's pain? They might call it something different, but it's the same. We're the same. Stay here for 3 more breaths. Maybe bringing a hand to a heart. So moving from your heart bench into more of a Shavasana style little nest. So if you want to curl up in your blanket, put your legs up the wall, or just simply lay on your mat. Allow the body to soften, the mind and heart to open. And I'd like you to imagine or visualize that you're near a small fire on a bitter cold night. This little personal fire is just flickering and cracking and popping. And you start to feel the warmth of this little personal fire on your hands. And then that warmth starts to radiate up the arms and down the shoulders, and your shoulders soften and the breath slows. This is love. Simply remembering the warmth and that you belong. This fire is your foundation. Allow your body to feel safe and warm. And once those needs are met, you start to tend to this fire just a little bit more carefully. You start to gather twigs and logs and maybe some brush, but you don't pile on too much. And you also don't neglect this little fire. You pay just enough attention to what it needs and respond to it gently. This is kindness, love expressed through care and wise restraint. So see your fire starting to grow now with that care, with the proper materials. Once the fire is established, steadily burning, and well tended, you start to recognize that its warmth can reach well beyond you. The heat that it's generating starts to have a bigger radius. You breathe in the chilly, cold air of the night and breathe out warmth. This is compassion, the willingness to meet the cold with an open, steady heart. The fire was never meant to be hoarded. It was meant to be tended to grow, and then to share. So imagine just sitting around a fire now with all of your loved ones, past, present, future. Feel the warmth of the fire, the warmth of the company that surrounds you. Nothing to tend to, nothing to fear, just warmth, presence, and ease. Notice how the fire breathes with each of you on your inhale. The cool night air arrives, it tickles your nose. And with each exhale, the warmth starts to radiate out. You are not taking on the cold. You're also not pushing it away. You are simply allowing warmth to meet it right where it is. This is compassion, not effort, not fixing, but a willingness to stay open, even when things are hard. May this fire remind you that when love is tended to with kindness, it becomes something that can be shared and enjoyed by so many other people. Rest here a little bit longer, feeling the warmth of your breath, your body, mind, and heart open, safe, and at ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be free from pain and suffering. One last time, sending it out to all living beings. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe, peaceful, and at ease. May you be free from all pain and suffering. Bring your hand back to the heart and just observe how your experience has shifted through this practice. Ever so slowly sending the warmth of that fire all the way down to your fingers, your toes. Just starting to roll out the wrists, the ankles, just slowly starting to come back. Not rushing, just being at ease. And then gently rolling to one side, taking your time before coming back to a seated position. And then starting to make your way back up to a seated position. Feeling the light and the love in your heart just exploding out. Just this huge opening. This transformative opening right here in your heart. Don't be afraid to share that fire, your light, your gifts. If you'll join me by taking one final deep breath in together through the nose. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and let it go. Breathing out relief to all. Hands come to the heart. Before we get to the sharing piece of the practice, I just want to say thank you for your courage. This is not an easy practice, but it is such an important one. And I appreciate you trusting me to guide you through it. I hope you feel more love, more warmth, and just radiate light. Thanks for being here. Namaste. So again, there's never any pressure, but if anyone would like to share, we're here and it helps the collective. Vicky, you look like you're wanting to say something.
No. What would the topic of love?
Love, kindness, and compassion.
Well, I've been watching these monks. I think there's 19 of them from down in Fort Worth, Texas, and they've walked almost 2,000 miles already. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. It's called Walk for Peace, and they have been in all different types of weather and that. And I get on Instagram, and it brings me so much peace and love and compassion. And I just wanted to share that if you guys want to check it out, because it does. It helps to uplift me.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
If anyone else has something to say, feel free to unmute yourself. And
It helped me to relax.
wonderful to hear, Lark.
All those places that don't usually get taken care of.
This is Beth.
Hi, Beth.
I was challenged, and I appreciate the challenge to love. It's easy for me to, love my grandson, and it's pretty easy to love the people that are around you at the gym or that are in line with you at the grocery store. But when I think about other people that maybe feel like they're spreading hatred, and it just feels like there's so much of that, and it was like, it just I tried. I did, like, how through the practice I did, but I feel like I want to take more time and energy throughout the days, like maybe in the next week, and more to be more sharing love with other people that are hurting, and even if they're not, if I'm not, yeah, I think what I'm, those other people that are not on the same wavelength as me. Yes. but yeah, and also even saying the things to loving myself, and all the things that you had us repeat towards ourselves, and it made me tear up a little bit, thinking about, I don't always think about that for myself, and yeah, I want the best for my family, and yeah, I want to be healthy and I want to be happy, but I don't always think about all the things and that you listed, and I really appreciated that, and it was thought provoking for me, and it just something else that I want to do. To help me be kinder and love myself more. So
Thank you, Beth.
So thank you, and I hope I didn't take up too much of the
No.
time there. Yeah. So.
May I just say one thing, Beth, that this is a very difficult practice. So you're not alone with that. It's designed to be something that we practice almost daily, especially when we're facing people who not maybe on the same wavelength as you, but really trying to send it out, this global love. So I'm going to send you this recording. Please keep practicing this. You can fast forward and just use this as a tool and a resource, because it really does open your heart. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
How will we get the recording?
I will email it tomorrow. So check your emails. Whichever email you registered with, I'll send it to that. It'll be a video that you can rewatch.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Sarah.
We miss you.
I miss you all too.
It's nice to see you.
I know, it's so wonderful to be in everybody's presence, and it won't always be like this, but for now we're making it work.
That's right. And
Yes.
It's working. It's working.
Yes.
It's working. We can still send and feel love for each other, and it really, I just think we raised our area's vibration tonight, and that's not insignificant.
That's what I've been feeling both times I've done it, is that vibration that I haven't felt for a long time.
Good.
The power of when we're united. I mean, that's what yoga really is about, is coming together from all different places and spaces and just being here and aligning our love, our hope for the future. And it really does make, it's like the ripple effect, the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And peace. And it brings
And peace.
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's so nice when you hug yourself. That, that's the closest I get sometimes to being hugged.
Yeah. I
It's
know, Fran.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and you're hugging yourself, and that really kind of means you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It really does make you feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Beth, that's practice, from someone whose head likes to stay in her head, 99.9% of the time. Like, what that practice really did was allow me to kind of shut that part down and really, delve deeper into my heart, which is a hard thing to do when your brain's constantly wanting to fight for control. But I felt that really deeply with that practice. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Giving me chills, everyone.
You did a fantastic job, sweetie.
It was very
Thank you.
nice. I loved it.
Yeah.
Now your homework is to keep practicing and
Yeah.
keep sharing your light and love, and
Yes.
Yeah.
even the smallest things, even just wishing it out, that's the first step. That one butterfly, that one little fluttering butterfly.
Being mindful to do it is really,
Yes.
just thinking that way. That's where I think sometimes the challenge can be as well. Just remembering to jump back into your heart space, like you taught us tonight, rather than the head space.
Yeah. And it feels different, doesn't it?
So different.
It's like it's a different language. It's different. Yeah. So just remember to kind of drop down, take the elevator from the crazy monkey mind down to the grounded. Like the heart is just, it can hold so much. It has like an infinite capacity to love. And it's just, we limit ourselves sometimes, don't we?
Yeah.
And this is just,
I love it.
Take the elevator down and remember it's just infinite. It can go and go and go if we get out of our own head and our own projections onto the world and just be like, everyone's deserving of this love and peace, and especially us.
Yeah.
Hug ourselves.
Hug yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
So true.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a wonderful
Have a good evening, ladies.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Thank
Good
you so much.
night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.